I'm here today representing Rugby Africa, and I would first like to congratulate you on your picking up your nomination. I would also like you to extend a belated happy birthday to Her Excellency, your wife. Your Excellency, I'd like to thank you for the extraordinary investment you've made in the greatest game on earth, rugby, the principles of which define, I think, life in general. Uganda, under your leadership, have become the champions of the sevens game at the AU Games in Ghana, the inaugural games where rugby was introduced for the first time, who led the way in many years ago. And we've had other many great leaders in Africa who have epitomized the same. And I let people know that we can talk about the Mandelas and the Kaundas and the Nyeris, but Your Excellency, I also mention your name at the same time. Indeed, many years ago, you gave me a small lecture on your ranch when I came with President Jerry John Rawlings, and you hosted us for a period and gave sound advice both to Jerry John Rawlings, belated, and to myself. I realize we have a very short program, Mr. President, so I just again would like to emphasize the extreme gratitude we have that you've made to rugby in Uganda. We are hosting this World Cup qualification here because of the excellent infrastructure and the excellent work by your Honorable Minister, as well as the leaders of Uganda Rugby. And I give you my word, Your Excellency, that if Uganda is ready, that we would like to stage more competitions here for as long as I'm president.
The passion from the Honourable Minister of State for Sport is clear to see, and it is our privilege and my privilege on behalf of World Rugby to be here to see that firsthand. But passion is one thing. We also see a structure and a cohesion that is building and growing rugby at a pace. And on behalf of World Rugby, we are absolutely committed to work with you to develop that, to grow the game, to demonstrate to people what rugby can do to lives, to individual lives, to communities, and to whole countries. And we've seen that, and I've seen that firsthand in numerous examples. I myself am a personal example of somebody who never believed I would achieve what I have in my life, and I put that down to rugby, and I would therefore wish everyone else to have that same commitment. The trophy has a magic and an aura about it, and I think it's testimony to what rugby does to lives. But we are absolutely overjoyed to work with you. We will work tirelessly with your support to keep on growing rugby in this great country. And I wish others like myself who've never been to Uganda before have the opportunity through sport to visit your amazing country and to experience all that it has to offer.
It's a moment of both celebration and reflection. This is the first baton relay under His Majesty King Charles III, and it signals a new chapter in the Commonwealth's journey. It's a moment that invites us to look back with pride and forwards with purpose. Your Excellency, last year, while opening the 27th Congress of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth, you reminded us that the Commonwealth is a voluntary association of nations committed to shared values and holds the potential for mutually beneficial economic interactions. Uganda has long been a pillar of this association. And in 2007, Kampala proudly hosted the Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting, otherwise known as CHOGM, welcoming Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II to Uganda's soil. That historic visit marked a high point in Uganda's Commonwealth engagement and reaffirmed the depth of our bilateral ties. Uganda has actively participated in the Commonwealth activities, from CHOGM and the Commonwealth Youth Forums to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference of Games. These engagements reflect Uganda's commitment to multilateralism, diplomacy, and regional cooperation. And the King's Baton Relay is more than a ceremonial tradition. It's a symbol of unity and of shared purpose. And it travels across Uganda. It carries with it the hopes of 2.5 billion people across the Commonwealth. People bound not by geography, but by values. The upcoming Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, in 2026 will be a celebration of this. They're not just about sport, but about excellence, inclusion and opportunity, and provide a platform for emerging talent to shine, for cultures to connect, and for nations, large and small, to stand together as equals. Uganda's record at the Games is, absolutely rightly, a source of national pride. Since first participating in 1954, Uganda's won over 50 medals, and your athletes have become global ambassadors, not just for sport, but for the spirit of Uganda. And they carry your flag to the world's capitals, showcasing your country's talent, discipline, and commitment to peace and to progress. Beyond the Games, the United Kingdom remains a steadfast partner to Uganda. Our relationship rooted not only in history, but is defined by shared ambition. As the King's Baton moves through Uganda, may it remind us of the strength of that partnership and of the promise to our shared future. And may it inspire the next generation to dream boldly, compete fairly, and lead with integrity. And it's now my pleasure to invite the Commonwealth Games Association of Uganda to present to Your Excellency the baton.
I want to thank you, Mr. President, for finding time in your busy schedule to receive this delegation. Let's clap for the President. Last week, the President honored our young sportsmen and women from different disciplines who continue to raise our flag internationally. Among those who were honored were the national rugby team for women, the Lady Cranes, the champions of Rugby Africa Division 1. Let's clap for those ladies. Your Excellency, rugby in Uganda continues to excel, and this is not only because of the talent of our young people, but also because of our partners who hold with us. Your Excellency, the World Rugby and Rugby Africa are some of our key partners who support the Uganda Rugby Union financially and technically. It's therefore a great honor to welcome the delegation from World Rugby and Rugby Africa to Uganda. You're most welcome. The government of Uganda has prioritized the development of sports, right from putting in place the legal framework for creation of conducive sports environment, funding the sports federation, and investing in the development of sports infrastructure. Your Excellency, we want to thank you so much for what you've invested in the sports subsector, and I want to request my guests to clap for our dear President in that. Uganda was given the rights to host Rugby Africa Cup, which is starting tomorrow and ending on 19th July 2025. We hosted the same tournament last year. However, the difference this time is that this tournament will also serve as a World Cup qualifier. And so I thank the rugby fraternity for choosing Uganda. As we welcome the Webb Ellis Rugby World Cup Trophy, it's my prayer that Uganda is given the opportunity to host the World Rugby Challenger Series 7, scheduled to take place next year. I believe the hosting this international sports event will not only inspire the youth, but it's also beneficial to bring in more visitors to Uganda through sports. The beauty of the sports lies in the unique ability of the country to tell its story, seen through its own lenses. Your Excellency, the Uganda Olympic Committee is here today, led by our president of Uganda Olympic Committee, to present to you the King's Baton. That signifies the countdown to the Commonwealth Games 2026, which will be hosted in Scotland. The relay of the King's Baton is a tradition of Commonwealth Games symbolizing unity and shared ideals of the Commonwealth nations and territories. Team Uganda will participate. Your Excellency, once again, we thank you for giving us Mama as our dear minister, and I want to request the audience to clap for her because her prayers whenever our children go to participate in international competition. Your Excellency, Mama leads us with prayers and they come with medals. So that's why I want to thank you so much. Your Excellency.
So therefore, rugby is like football, some of the other sports are sort of individual excellence, but some are, you can see you can only succeed if you work as a team. And rugby is one of those that must be, that needs collective effort. I'm surprised to hear you praising us that we have developed the infrastructure. We haven't done much yet. The only thing you have done is just peace, because Uganda had collapsed. Uganda had become a failed state. Are the Commonwealth Games every 4 years? Yes, because I remember those games of 1954, where our athletes participated. There was a man from Teso called Etolu. He was a high jumper. Then the next games were 1958, Cardiff. You see what you people call history? I call current affairs. Because now when you talk about, I remember everything as if now in Cardiff, Uganda won a silver medal for boxing. Tom Kawere. Now, after that, somehow I was not following so much, because then the next games would have been 1962, from 58, would be 62. But somehow I don't remember that one. It's not so clear in my head. So, we are very active members of the Commonwealth. And I've been telling, when I met Her Majesty, the first time I met her in 1987, I told her that, Your Majesty, the Commonwealth is maybe the only meeting, the only international meeting where I attend and I don't have to have earphones for translation. Because I can hear all these different types of English, Indian English, accents are not so easy, but you can pick what they are saying. So this is really, and she was very much, I could see she was surprised by that remark, because I told her that even when I attend the African Union, I must listen to translators through the earphones. But here, I speak with all these people, direct, from the Pacific, from where. So it's a very important human group. So therefore, all these mechanisms to bring these 2.5 billion people together is very important. Unfortunately, when Britain joined the European Union, was it 1964 or when was it? Because I remember that debate which was going on.
Yeah, the establishment, yeah.
It was 64. Mm-hmm. I remember that that debate of the Britain joining the European Union. Then the economic side was interfered with. But since Britain came out of the European Union, they have been very active trying to reconnect economically. But the other aspects are continuing, the cultural, the scientific, the education. So this is one of them, one of the mechanisms of keeping this group together. And you are saying you have done, what have we done? What infrastructure have we done?
Your Excellency, before the renovation of Nambole, we used to only have two sports disciplines. That was athletics and football. But now the renovation, we brought on board the measurement of the rugby play pitch, which is able to accommodate rugby. As of now,
They can play there.
they can play there. And this gives us an advantage.
But the goalposts are different.
Yes, the goalposts, even those goalposts, the sockets for those goalposts are already incorporated in the renovation. So it's just a matter of placing them there,
Okay.
and they can play the rugby there.
Because I remember in the school, I remember those goalposts at Kacheka. Me, I was a footballer, a cricketer, but I watched those rugby people. They were there. So I'm glad our daughters are doing very well. Where are those tough girls?
Today, Your Excellency, we only brought the big people. We have not brought our daughters. We have only brought our daughter and its a son for purposes of the Commonwealth.
Very good.
But Your Excellency, even in Akibwa and Hoima, all now those sports infrastructures have multi-sports so that we can be using them, rugby, football, athletics, not only in Nambole.
Okay, then if you include Nambole, then I can say yes. But otherwise, the other one where we were bombed by the terrorists,
Chadondo.
there is one where these people were drinking alcohol. They were not engaged in sports. Then the terrorists, I think they were watching World Cup or something.
Yes, Your Excellency, they were watching a World Cup match between finals. Mm-hmm. That was 2010 in South Africa. So that is that pitch. They had put big screens, and like you correctly said, it was a place of enjoyment of alcohol and other related matters, sir.
And then the Somali terrorists came and threw their bomb. Did it kill some people?
It did, Your Excellency, actually.
Yes. So when we were saying rugby, I said, that's the only one I know. The one where people, that was like a rugby pitch or something.
It is actually rugby, one of the rugby training pitches, but also for the match official match games whenever they play local leagues, Your Excellency.
Is it good standard?
Your Excellency, it's below average. That's why now Nambole, Chambogo, Makerere, all these new training pitches for AFCON and CHAN, we are making sure that they are up to date to the international standard. So that one entirely, Your Excellency,
just for training.
it is for training purposes now.
And for some alcohol.
That is right. Can we clap? That's a very important gift for our president from the World Rugby. I hope tomorrow I will see them in the headline of the new visual. They can all get back. Rugby for that very important remarks. Can I now
Thank you. Can you hear me? Hello?
have Dr. Patrick Bernard Ogwell, General Secretary of National Council, to address us. Our program, Your Excellency, is not going to take more than 30 minutes. I'm aware of Uganda. Mr. Jonathan Webb, the Vice Chairman, World Rugby, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, let me start
over rugby.
Today.
But we are very proud to have been where it was first believed to be a good idea to pick.
Long before many of you were born, we had was it Tom Brown school days. That's what. Is that school still there? Rugby public school. It was called a public school.
Indeed, it is still present. Of rugby is spreading beyond public schools, and we.
I'm very happy to receive you here.